Ladies and gentlemen, I am Jim of the Fuzzy, and welcome back to Sid Meier's Civilization 5. When we left off, we had the question of, should we start a war with the Shoshone? Now, there are good arguments for and against. First being, the argument for being that we prevent them from settling a city. The argument against being, they're our neighbors. However, the argument about them being our neighbors, it can also be taken as an argument for. And that is definitely something. Weakening them right now is probably beneficial. On the other hand, I'm not usually a very warlike player. Unlike some of the people I like to watch, say Quill 18, you're not going to see me declaring war on, the entire world. On the other hand, we are, if you're following the series that goes along with this, the Civilization 6 side, you'll realize that the entire world in that series has declared war on me. Now, in Civilization 6, I shouldn't say that series, because they're supposed to be the same series. Anyway, point being, we're at war in the other one, so it seems to make sense that we should start a war in this one in order to, I don't know if compensate is the right word, but to, compare? Compare is a good word, yes. But before we do that, I would like to start our building projects. Going into Sao Paulo, we have production. Also turn citizen management. Alright. What do we have? Well, we got some wonders here we could build. Not really in the mood for any of those. Could build walls. Those are free and they improve our defense, but again, we don't really have a lot of production here. I am kind of sad that we're going to have to rip this up, but what can you do? I am strongly considering building an archer. And that seems like a good idea. We have 15 turns until border growth and we get more horses in our territory. That is good, because while we have 6 horses right now, those are actually coming from our city-state ally, Monaco. So, with that in mind, it's probably a good idea that we get some more. As to starting a war, are we in a good position for it? Overall, I would say yes. We've got one warrior here. We have one warrior here, and we have a scout here. We're going to be able to find out what they're doing and why they're doing it. We have the ability to easily attack. And we're right here. The question being, which unit do we pull forward and where do we position our units? And I think it's about time that we also get an archer. So, unfortunately, our income is very, very poor. So, that's going to raise a lot of questions about, well, what do we get? In Rio de Janeiro, we have a lot of things we can build. I want to go for the temple in order to speed up our faith production, so we're closer to getting a great profit in the very near future. That will be very useful to us overall. A wall would also be helpful, and on top of that, a stoneworks would again be helpful. First off, it gives us 1 happiness, which again improves our production towards golden ages, and once we get fine arts and aesthetics, that will be giving us more culture as well. And more cultural policies is very, very good. So, stoneworks, definitely an advantage. Barracks, Starting off our units halfway to level 3. Oh, with one promotion, halfway to another. Good idea. I don't think this war is going to justify it, though. So, do we go military, or do we go build infrastructure? I really also want this mausoleum of Helicarnassus. Mostly on the argument of we're going to be using a lot of great people, so getting lots of gold in exchange for all those great people we're going to be using is a really, really good thing. Also, we have a source of marble, and we have a source of stone in the city, so that is plus 4 gold right there. And we could use the gold. The other argument for location would be to put a city over here, right on this tile of desert, and then put there, but that's still 2 stone, same issue. And we don't, there's no other good spots with stone and marble, so if we want it, getting it now is a good idea. The other thought would be getting the Oracle, more culture, although all these give culture, and more great scientist points. We're already working towards one. In fact, we're 30% of the way towards our first. But do we want the mausoleum of Helicarnassus? I think we do. Although I can't remember if anybody is working towards it. Either way, even though we are going to war, I really want this. It really fits with our strategy, our overall planning. So I'm going to get it. After that, probably going to go get Theocracy. After we get Fine Arts, I'm probably going to get Theocracy, and then that will justify getting temples. Now, next city, Sao Paulo. Shrine makes sense. On the other hand, it's not a hill, is it? No. Monument would make sense, except for the fact that it would take so many turns, and the relative culture boost isn't amazing. Plus, the 1 maintenance is a big deal to us right now. Library would be good, but city's really small. So I think getting our first archer is the best bet. And with that in mind, return to the map. And now we're going to start that war. Does this mean war? Yeah. No diplomacy. Okay, we have no diplomacy with them. They have no allied states. We have no deals that are going to be canceled. And we know trade routes are going to be canceled. So, yes, let's go to war. Goodbye. Alright. We just got a worker. Yes, I know we captured a settler, but in this game, capturing a settler does not mean that you get a settler. It is a civilian unit. If you capture a civilian unit, that becomes a worker for you. Whether it was a worker or something else to start with. So, we are now at war. And Monaco has declared war on them. That's only going to last for 15 turns. Now, an interesting question is, Wood adopting patronage, which would have given us 25% slower degradation of influence, would that have been worthwhile? I don't know. Budapest. They want us to deal with barbarian units and connect wine. Do we have any wine? Not that I can see. Gandhi does not have wine. Alright. So now we go on to the next turn. Vancouver wants assistant. Alright then. Sao Paulo can fire on an enemy. Yes, please. Let's deal with that hand axe. Inflict about 20 damage. We have a strength of 8 point... So we are effectively weaker than them. Given our city strength. So they're gonna try and attack the city. Alright then. Let's deal with it. We're gonna have to pull some units back to defend our city. Now, if I remember correctly, our scout did not show anything super valuable at Mozinkani last turn. Now I'm going to move this worker back to right here. Either way, it would take 2 turns to get it into this iron, and this way it's actually protected. Our warrior is also going to move to right here. And this scout, we have a hill right here. Move to right here. Well, we met Sofia. They are militaristic. And they have a special unit they can gift to us. However, they don't like us. Although they do have horses and incense. Alright, now which of these hills do we step onto? This one will give us more vision over in this direction. Although, we do see quite a bit over in that direction. I think I'm going to go on this one. And that is an advantage to moving only one tile at a time. That you have the chance to see those new hills. Otherwise, I would have been here. I still have seen Sofia, and I might wound up seeing exactly the same amount of terrain. But this way, I wound up with the option. So... actually, you move this guy to right here. Fortify until healed. One nice thing about all this forest and jungle is that it'll take a while for anyone to get through it. Which is very nice. So, 7 turns until population growth in Sao Paulo. Mostly because we can't work the bananas. And because we can't work the bananas, we're only getting half the surplus. Well, not half. We're getting... Instead of getting 3 per turn, and thus heading towards 15, we're getting 2 per turn. Well, we'll deal. Alright. Sofia, go away. And Vancouver wants help with barbarians. And there is the Indian scout that's been running around a bit. Monaco wants a great musician. Alright, Sao Paulo can bombard again. That's good. And in fact, I think I will. Right here. We've already weakened this warrior. We could weaken him far more, but this hand axe is going to be more of a problem. In fact, that hand axe is going to be coming down and threatening this warrior. And okay, move on to this hill. This hill might have shown us more territory. And if you see, there is a light, the purple dash border here. That means there's another city-state up there. Someone else has almost certainly scouted it by now, but it's nice to know. So we're going to move there. This warrior is going to fortify until healed. And with that, who else needs orders? The worker. I am going to have you wait this turn. And alright. The good news about Mozankani is that they don't have much in the way of military. And that means we don't have to worry too much. Or rather, the Shoshone don't have much. 30 HP, huh. That's interesting. Well, let's see. City can attack. And that barbarian is almost dead. We'll get our warrior and have him finish the hand axe off. And that gets us 9 culture. Useful. I think I can move there. And now another hill over here. Now this is an interesting question. Do I want to head straight for the city-state? Or do I want to go for the hill? I think I'm going to go for the hill just to clear the fog this way, and then I can just sweep west without concern. But this hill is right on the coast, and just walking up to the coast gives you vision over the water identical to what a hill would give you over land. So, as a result, hills are not necessarily as useful as you would think. At least not right next to the ocean. Alright. So now we hit next turn again. Our city's gonna grow. 4 turns. Someone else got to a religion. Alright. This is a problem. If that hand axe had not spawned, then we could deal with this turn no problem at all. What I am going to do is have these guys start building a mine. Now, this mine is on a hill. And what that means, in Civilization 5, hills, by default, do not give any food. Something like the sheep actually gives +1 food, but iron does not. So, normally I might... Yes, this is giving me 3 more production, if I do this. But it also costs me 2 food and 1 culture. I may normally not want to build this. It's a hard choice, but Sao Paulo does need production. If it didn't need production and I didn't need the iron, which is an even stronger reason, then I very well may not have built that. So, with that, move to our scout. Ah, ruins. Hello, Buenos Aires. They are another cultured city-state. And this leaves... Let's see. If I attack you... Alright, just looking at this... I think that if we do this bombardment, we will be okay. The risk is the hand axe moving into here. Now, I do... Oh, no, I wanted to click on Sao Paulo, not the fire. So this is going to take the horses. One thing I would like to say in the consideration of this is that once our borders cover this barbarian encampment, we will automatically clear it. At that point, it'll be part of our territory. And then we'll just have to kill the barbarian brute. So we could continue to farm these hand axes for culture. It may be a very good idea. I don't know. But I think we're at war and I'd like to get rid of the barbarians quickly. However, I think I'm gonna shoot the handy axe this turn. And fortify this warrior until healed. We are within our own territory, which does give me a healing bonus. So I should be healing a rate of 20 per turn. And with my combat strength in woods, they're gonna hit me for 23 damage. But that's this turn. That should get weaker as my city bombards them. Well, no, they're gonna hit me for less than 20, so I will successfully be healing off this. And let's see. Buenos Aires met. Shoshone is protecting Buenos Aires. Discovered the ruins. We got one more population in Rio de Janeiro, that's good. Where is it working? I'm curious. Stone. Alright. So we got those bananas being worked. After we finish up with his spices, I may want to send this worker over and improve that farm. That would not be a bad idea. So, alright. What beliefs did Buddhism get? They got cathedrals. I wanted cathedrals. Cathedrals give you an art slot. Slot for a great work of art, which really helps if you're going for tourism. Well, I guess we're just gonna have to figure out something else, aren't we? And with that, we've come to the end of this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I have been Jimbo the Fuzzy. Hope to see you again next